We are conducting a forensic audit of the global economy, tracing the specific mathematical mechanisms currently liquidating your personal wealth. The first ledger of destruction is the tax system. Public debate focuses on taxation as a tool to punish the global elite. Yet the data suggests this serves as a narrative cover for a much broader extraction from the working population. Consider the mechanics of capital flight. When the founder of the British fintech giant Revolut recently moved his residency to the United Arab Emirates, he wasn't just changing his address, he was removing his entire future tax contribution from the Western ledger. This single exit instantly erased an estimated £3 billion in potential capital gains tax revenue. Because the average worker pays roughly £7,000 annually, it takes the total contribution of 450,000 citizens to replace one departing billionaire. As the wealthy utilize their mobility to exit, the state faces a mathematical shortfall. It uses tax the rich rhetoric to maintain public support, while imposing the highest tax burdens in peacetime history on the remaining middle class. The tax system functions as a mathematical trap. It effectively liquidates the savings of the middle class to cover the state's debts once the mobile elite have left the jurisdiction. This extraction is mirrored in the macroeconomy. Governments frequently cite growth in gross domestic product, yet the average citizen feels a sharp, consistent decline in their actual standard of living. This discrepancy is managed through a demographic Ponzi. By importing large numbers of people, a government can increase the total size of its economy on paper, using raw population volume to hide a lack of genuine innovation or productivity. Look at a household of 4 earning $100,000. If you add 2 more people who bring in only $10,000 each, the total household income rises, but the individual slices of that pie become significantly thinner and less valuable. When applied to a nation, this formula guarantees that while the total GDP might climb, the average person's purchasing power continues to sink. Most citizens are objectively poorer today than they were 2 decades ago. These mass inflows of population serve as an accounting trick used by political leaders to mask the reality of a nation that is structurally losing its wealth. Beyond demographics, the industrial ledger shows a more deliberate decline. Decades of perceived geopolitical safety encouraged Western nations to systematically dismantle their own energy security and manufacturing independence. This global map reveals the reality of carbon reduction policies. Western nations aren't reducing global emissions, they're outsourcing them to hostile jurisdictions. Manufacturing moves to nations using dirtier methods, and the products are then shipped back on heavy vessels, increasing total CO2 output. Germany provides a clear case study. They destroyed their own clean nuclear infrastructure, effectively locking themselves into a total dependence on Russian gas that left their economy vulnerable the moment the geopolitical climate shifted. In Britain, the highest industrial electricity prices in the developed world have forced the closure of domestic manufacturing. The country is now reaching a point where it can no longer produce the virgin steel required for its own defense. The West has traded its energy security and industrial strength for a fleeting sense of moral superiority, leaving its core infrastructure entirely reliant on foreign adversaries. This existing decay is now colliding with a technological shift that targets the primary way the middle class generates value. As AI begins to automate both cognitive and physical labor, the historical link between work and income is coming under direct pressure. The rollout of humanoid robotics and specialized AI is moving into the commercial sector. Industries ranging from long-haul trucking to medical surgery are facing an automation wave that will arrive in years, not decades. This process points toward an extreme concentration of wealth. As production shifts from human labor to proprietary algorithms, capital will pool exclusively in the hands of a microscopic tech elite who control the infrastructure of automation. When millions can no longer trade labor for a living and wealth remains trapped in a few hands, the resulting social pressure moves beyond political debate. The system reaches a point of instability where the current economic order can no longer sustain itself. These internal crises are converging, just as the external world order has expired. The era of safety and structured rules is over. International law was only ever a shared fiction, maintained by the shared dominance of a single unipolar power. Without a clear global leader willing to enforce those rules, the agreement is dissolving. We have entered a lawless global vacuum. Nuclear-armed nations are realizing that borders can be redrawn through force, and they are moving to secure their own interests without regard for the old order. The myth of a protected, rule-based world has vanished. This leaves an overtaxed and deindustrialized middle class completely exposed to the geopolitical volatility that is now arriving. Facing this stark reality is the only way to prepare for it. Subscribe to the channel to track the forensic data of this decline, and share your perspective on these numbers in the comments below.